This is an unpopular opinion that millions of Kenyans may choose not to accept due to the facticity of it. And my point is, those whom accept to be paid for them to attend President William Samoei Ruto's rallies, then I kid you not, I see a string of possibilities that they are also likely to be compromised by being paid by President William Samoei Ruto come 2027 purposely for them to revote for him in the next anticipated general election. And the reason as to why I am particularly of this ideology, it is due to the simple reason that if today they are going to accept to be bribed, then guess what? What is going to deter them from being paid purposely for them to re-elect incompetency back to office by President William Samoei Ruto? Being a political master-cut poet of our Kenyan politics, he fully understands the art of manipulation, and come 2027, even if he is going to pay some people so that they can re-elect him, even if they get to the ballot but choose not to vote for him, then I kid you not, there are all telltale signs that President William Samoei Ruto is likely to use the crowds that Kenyans are currently witnessing attend his rally and use them as his ground of defense, because just by the crowds that Kenyans across the political divide are witnessing, then I see a string of possibilities that he will use the same crowds to drive his winning perception. Remember, this is politics, and in politics, perception is key. Why don't you see a string of possibilities that President William Samoei Ruto is likely to use the same crowds so that he can technically doctor some figures purposely for him to emerge the victor? Remember, the next general election come 2027 is likely to be a do or die election for him. So even if he is not going to rig quite a huge percentage, but he may technically doctor some figures purposely for him to portray it to Kenyans that that election was more competitive, just like what happened in the 2022 general election. And so, if you're there seated, riding in an ideological norm that we are going to take the money, but come 2027, we are likely not to vote in his favor, let me remind you this: it is the same political elites to whom have times above numbers been very categorical that the money that is usually dished out before, during, and after a general election, or even during campaigns, the money usually contains some demonic spirits. So what is it that is likely to make it an exception with President William Samoei Ruto's case? Simply because money always drives influence, and if at all, before and during, before the campaigns and during the elections, Kenyans are going to be influenced by the same money. What is deterring you to an extent of having a contrary opinion to mine that the same cash is likely not to influence your voting in the next general election. My point is, if at all you are a Kenyan to whom can be influenced and compromised and be paid just for you to attend someone you differed with in a political ideology narrative, then I kid you not, the same cash is likely to be used to influence you on your voting pattern come 2027, because this is common logic and it doesn't require you to be a rocket scientist for you to fully understand this narrative. The only advantage Kenyans are currently having is that our electioneering system is strictly through a secret ballot, and that will give Kenyans the latitude to choose on who they will best feel is the best preferred candidate, because you can get the cash and instead consciously vote for whoever you see fit. However, if Kenyans are going to re-elect incompetence, then I kid you not, they are likely to suffer in the next 5 years. If at all, whoever they are going to vote, even if it won't be President William Samoei Ruto, then if they vote bad governance, likely bad policies are going to replicate to their own disadvantage. So, as the saying goes, choices shall always have consequences. The same choices that Kenyans are going to make in the next general election are likely to come with consequences. If we make good decisions, then good shall come unto us. If we make bad decisions, then bad policies are likely to come unto us. So please, it is my sincere appeal for Kenyans to vote wisely. I am not in any way anti-Ruto style of governance, but my point is, I do wish that as Kenyans head to the next general election, should consciously vote competence right from the MCA all the way to the highest office of the land. Simply because if you're going to elect very competent individuals, then I kid you not, it is through their competence that it is going to streamline several sectors in matters governance. Anything and absolutely anything contrary to that, I kid you not, we are likely to suffer for the next 5 years. But anyway, who am I to judge Kenya's best decisions at the ballot? And as I come to the penultimate part of this episode, that has just been my opinion. If by any chance you do have a contrary opinion to mine, you can as well just feel free to drop them in the comment section and I'll give them a right of reply. And by any chance, if you've been watching my videos and you've not subscribed, you can as well just consider hitting on the subscribe button. Thank you, and may God bless you.